Hi, my name is Alexandra dePillis-Lindheim, and with my partner Emily Gottry, we will present our analysis of STEM retention and gatekeeping courses at Azusa Pacific University. The primary goal of our research is to look at STEM retention at APU, who and how many students choose to continue in their chosen STEM major. We also want to determine which courses have high rates of poor performance. These are known as gatekeeping courses. It will hopefully help APU to improve their learning assistance program to place hired students in strategic courses to aid other students, improve STEM retention, and broaden STEM participation for all students.
So to investigate this topic, we have 7 years of student enrollment and performance data from fall of 2015 to the current term, fall 2022. We are only looking at STEM students here, so engineering, computer science, math, physics, statistics, biology, chemistry, and allied health. And we're using the course, not the student, as the object of study. We're answering questions such as, how is performance in a certain course dissuading students from continuing to pursue STEM? Or what percentage of students are retained in their STEM major after failing an introductory course such as Calculus 1? We want to know if students from certain demographics are more likely to drop out because they're not receiving enough support, as well as overall course performance in the introductory courses, like what percentage of students pass, to identify those gatekeeping or weed-out courses. All this analysis was performed in R.
So one of the lenses we use to analyze STEM retention at APU is the rate of students who earned a D or an F in a course or withdrew from a course altogether. We categorize these into a single group called DFWs. In this data, we see that there are many classes that had a high rate of DFWs, particularly in math and biology. This justifies our use of LAs, especially in those courses, and our inclusion of those particular classes in our presentation here today.
So we'll start with math. So Calculus 1 is an introductory STEM course that most STEM students take. So all students included in this graph here are STEM majors when they took Calculus 1, and they're considered retained if they are also a STEM major 1 year later. You can see, as expected, if a student fails, they are less likely to stay in their chosen STEM major. And this is similar between males and females. However, first-generation status seems to aggravate this problem. So a little over 60% of first-generation students are retained in their STEM major after receiving a DF or withdraw, whereas non-first-generation students have about a 75% retention rate. This diagram shows what we've seen in the last slide in a slightly different way, especially looking at where the people who left their STEM major went. So most of them are retained in their STEM department, but the other two places are being retained at APU, but not in their STEM major, and leaving APU entirely. And an alarming number of the students who receive a DFW leave APU entirely versus being retained in another department. So this deserves further investigation. Here's another introductory math course we investigated, Intro to Stats. Here across the board, you can see lower retention rates overall, but it is comparable between males and females and regardless of first-generation status.
We can determine which courses are gatekeeping courses by comparing the percentage of students who passed to the percentage of students in the DFW category. We can see in our data that Bio 151 and 152 are courses that have lower pass rates than other lower division courses in the same track. These introductory courses may potentially discourage students from pursuing a STEM degree.
Our next steps will be to further investigate those courses that we pointed out here in this presentation, especially that introductory statistics course, as well as the first couple general biology courses. We want to look into the classroom environment, such as class sizes, instructor demographics, and tutoring support, for example, as well as investigating the impact of certain demographic factors. One we pointed out here was first-generation status, but a few others that stood out in our initial modeling process were overall term GPA as well as commuter status. So we want to continue this modeling to be able to predict student success and inform targeted support to certain classes and students. Thank you for allowing us to share our work with you. Here are our references if you're interested in learning some more about STEM retention and overall retention modeling.